Only a stone's throw away from this scene is a neighbor who stood on this very corner and has an eyewitness account of last night's shooting. I'm Danielle Miskell in Floyd County. This news report ahead.
Staffing shortages, cancellations, and delays this weekend for travelers. How it's been a nightmare for some ahead. Plus, we talked to Greenhouse 17 about how domestic violence was at the core of last night's shooting in Floyd County. Fox 56 News at 7 starts now.
Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 7.
Hello and thanks for ending the week with us. I'm Bodie Brooks in tonight for Amani Payne. The Commonwealth mourning tonight the deaths of Prestonburg Police Captain Ralph Frazier and Floyd County Sheriff's Deputy William Petrie, who investigators say were ambushed and killed in Floyd County overnight. The men were part of a group of law enforcement serving a domestic violence warrant at a home in the small town of Allen. A police canine was also killed. 4 other law enforcement officers as well as another person were hurt. One of those officers is in critical condition tonight. After an almost 5-hour standoff, 49-year-old Lance Storrs was arrested. In court today, Storrs was held on $10 million bond. Our Danielle Miskell reporting from a heartbroken Floyd County tonight.
One neighbor who lives in this house right here behind me says that it was a loud boom that caught his attention and drew him out here last night, where he witnessed most of the shooting that happened here on Main Street. And it lasted for hours. The chaos was so surreal that he told me he could not take his eyes off of what was happening. Charles Kahn said when a Kentucky State Police trooper pulled up to the scene, he saw Lance Storrs open fire on him. He heard gunfire after gunfire. Shots went everywhere. Then as he noticed bullet holes on the fire truck next to him, he saw a firefighter not too far away get shot.
And we watched when the guy from the fire department got shot. He got shot right behind them road bushes. When he went down, that's when we all went in the house where the shots were coming from. And then when that state police pulled up and he couldn't get across the tracks, and you could see his windows being busted out, that's when it all reality set in, you know.
And Mayor Les Stapleton has been spending the entire day setting up grief counseling in Prestonburg at the Mountain Arts Center. Reporting in Allen City, Danielle Miskell, Fox 56 News.
Daniel, thank you. We'll continue to follow that situation there. Well, a muggy and steamy day to end your week. We can only hope that things are changing soon. Let's check in with meteorologist David Aldridge for the latest. And David, man, it was suffocating outside today.
It really was. And those high dew points don't help. We're going to track the humidity here in just a second. But take a look at the radar real quick. For those who might be on the road, there's a thunderstorm or two north of Flemingsburg, but not a whole lot elsewhere. It's slim pickings. I like to call it feast or famine in the summertime because it could be sunny on one side of the street. It could be raining on the other. We've got a couple of showers on the east side there in Madison County. 95? Are you kidding me? Yesterday was 96. 96. We're in the mid-90s for 2 days in a row. Our peak wind gust today was only 23 miles an hour, and that didn't help much. We're at 92 here at 7 p.m. in Lexington and Frankfort, 94 in Danville, but it feels like it's still 97 in the capital and 95 in Mount Sterling as well for the feels like. Now, these dew points are the reason. When they're in the 60s to near 70, it feels like the swamp. And when they're in the mid-70s, it's just very humid. But you can track all this right through 10 o'clock tonight. Watch as we put this in motion. It does dry out if you're up in New York State. Maybe you're traveling in northern Indiana. But this humidity is going to stick around the Commonwealth, not only for tomorrow, not only for Sunday, but also into the holiday itself. When I come back, we'll talk more about the lake forecast, the pool forecast, and what you can expect next week. There may be some surprises headed your way. Bodie?
David, thank you. The impact of the tragedy in Floyd County is still rippling among all of Kentucky. But let's give a check on our top headlines at 7. The remains of Captain Frazier and Deputy Petrie have now returned home to Allen. A chorus of cars showing solidarity with their neighbors in mourning as Winchester first responders paid their respects. The display starting with a lone fire truck. Once word came the procession had left Frankfort, the line grew, both in first responders and average citizens, for a final salute on their last trip home. Police were called to 1850 Bryant Road this morning along with fire personnel and Kentucky Utilities. The call came in just before 7 when emergency crews tell us a man suffered life-threatening electric shocks while on the roof making repairs. He was transported to the hospital. 2 firefighters climbed up to assist but fell in the process. Both were sent to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. President Biden meeting with 7 Democratic governors who are moving to protect access to abortion in their states in the wake of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. During Friday's virtual meeting, Biden urged voters to keep abortion rights in mind when voting in midterm elections this November. A new poll shows 22% of adults name abortion rights as one of up to 5 problems they want the government to work on, a number that's more than doubled since December. As the holiday weekend approaches, it's important to remember to keep safety in mind when around fireworks this 4th of July weekend. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says fireworks injuries have gone up 25% over the last 15 years. Last year alone, there were an estimated 11,500 fireworks-related injuries treated in emergency rooms. The most commonly affected areas include the fingers, hands, head, face, and ears. Well, are you traveling this holiday weekend? If you are traveling by plane, it could be a bumpy ride. Fox News senior correspondent Casey Stiegel is at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport with more on an expected travel nightmare.
The July 4th holiday weekend is in full swing, but flight cancellations and delays are leaving thousands of travelers frustrated as they try and reach their destinations.
Planning and being prepared for the unexpected is the most important thing.
Hundreds of flights already delayed or canceled early Friday morning. This following thousands of delays already throughout the week, with nearly 6,000 flights canceled on Wednesday alone.
He actually got rebooked twice, I think, so it's been fun.
A surge of passengers returning to travel this summer, with AAA expecting 3.5 million Americans to take to the skies this weekend. That's a 1.5% increase from this time last year and nearly 12% higher than the 10-year average. Travel experts saying this influx of passengers will only strain an overloaded system as airlines continue to struggle with staffing shortages, overscheduling, and high demand.
Right now, summer is oversold and understaffed.
Anticipating cancellations and delays, Delta is proactively issuing fee waivers, allowing those who have flights booked for the weekend to rebook on a different flight with no additional cost.
Delta issuing this waiver is them trying to get ahead of this problem, but this is going to happen for almost all the airlines this weekend.
Meantime, many Delta pilots across the country taking to the picket line yesterday, fighting for better overtime pay to help keep planes in the sky. That's the latest from DFW International Airport. Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
Shoppers may spend less this year for back-to-school shopping. One forecasting research firm says spending for back-to-school items, which usually starts after July 4th, will see just a 5.5% gain in spending. Last year's school shopping was up more than 13%. Factors affecting the fall-off include inflation, no more stimulus money, supply chain disruptions, rising interest rates, and declining personal savings. More relief is on the way for families still struggling to find baby formula. The Biden administration says a shipment of baby formula from Australia will arrive in Fort Worth, Texas on July 4th. The delivery includes more than 56,000 pounds of formula. That's nearly 850,000 8-ounce bottles. It will be available through Gerber.com. This is part of the administration Operation Fly effort to address the ongoing baby formula shortage. Coming up on Fox 56 News at 7, domestic violence played a role in last night's standoff. Up next, we talk to an advocate in the domestic violence support community on the impact.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
Welcome back. I'm Marvin Bartlett. The shooting of several police officers in Floyd County again draws our attention to the problem of domestic violence. State police have said officers went to that home after the woman living there had obtained an emergency protective order. One organization that provides counseling and shelter for domestic abuse victims is Greenhouse 17 in Lexington. We're joined by that agency's executive director, Darlene Thomas. Darlene, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for asking.
First off, what thoughts are going through your mind today after you've processed the news about what happened there in Floyd County last night?
Well, I can tell you I was texted very early in that process last evening, alerted to the fact that a domestic violence situation was taking place. And immediately my heart sinks for all involved, the survivor, family members, and especially the officers and their families. Domestic violence poses a lot of risk for many, not just the victim.
What is your very first piece of advice to someone if they are a victim of abuse?
I always say you need to trust your instincts, trust yourself. Often survivors do self-talk that doesn't, that kind of minimizes the abuse, or they think they can handle it or make it better or fix it. And I'm going to say it's not your fault. There's help available. You do not have to be alone. Trust your instincts, trust your gut. It will tell you the next steps you need to do.
It's so easy for a lot of us to sit back and say, why do they put up with that? Why don't they go get help? And you find people sometimes take weeks, months, even years to go get help. Why is that?
Yeah, you know, it's not an easy process. It takes a while to realize that you don't have a lot of choices in these relationships. It's a slow grooming by an individual of a survivor or victim. So one day you start to realize, when did my life get here? How did this happen and occur? And it's at that point in time where you start to see survivors think about ways to either begin to get help for themselves, for their families, think about ways to maybe leave, secure other resources through legal means. Unfortunately, a lot of times law enforcement is called to be involved, that things escalate to the point that they need some outside interventions. And it's at that point in time survivors begin to make different choices. And we need to be here for them as a community.
Well, Greenhouse 17 is there for them. Talk just briefly about some of the services you offer.
Well, our goal is to meet people where they are. So we provide emergency shelter. We have a 24-hour crisis line. All of our services are confidential. We provide support groups. We go to court with individuals. We do visitation and exchange with children. For our community. So you name it, our job is not to have a cookie cutter approach, is to really help the individual think about their goals, their housing needs, what they're going to need to have in place to move from crisis to self-sufficiency.
Right. Well, if people want to get that information, they can find it on your website. That is greenhouse17.org. The crisis hotline number is there as well. Darlene Thomas, Executive Director of Greenhouse 17, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Well, not everybody is dry. We have a thunderstorm just to the east side of Paris. You take a look at Bourbon County, little cell right here. It's going to be moved just to the south of Carlisle. It's not severe, but it could benefit your vegetable garden or lawn. More on your forecast after the break.
Plus, find out how one Los Angeles neighborhood gas gave a special treat to its residents.
On the go? Stream Fox 56 News live on your phone and watch wherever you are.
Now it's time to focus on the positive. Cars line up around the block for free gas in California. It happened in the Los Angeles neighborhood of Compton this morning. Folks who showed proof of residency were given $50 worth of gas at the pump. The giveaway was sponsored by a local councilman and singer. The students seated next to your kids in elementary school may become their close friends, according to a study. Researchers at Florida Atlantic University say students who sit next to or nearby one another are more likely to become friends than students who sit far away from each other. The study assessed more than 230 students ages 8 to 11 at a public school. Even when seat assignments changed, students were more likely to form new friendships, and those deemed near neighbors in group proximity led to close friendships.
Now, your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Well, if you're in Versailles, you may know there's a Veterans 4th of July event tomorrow, 2 to 7. They've got car crews, vendors, and food trucks. And in Winchester, they've got the red, white, and blue. I believe it's the car and bike show. There's a lot of activities. Want you to be aware of it, but there may be some disruptions in the weather. Take a look at the radar. Not a whole lot showing up on the macro view. But before the break, we looked at a little thunderstorm working its way into Nicholas County from Bourbon County near Carlisle. So again, you have the potential to get some locally heavy rain. Doesn't affect everybody, but when it rains, it pours, and it could include some damaging wind, as illustrated here from the isolated severe storm threat tomorrow. We have right now 92 degrees in Lexington, 92 in Frankfurt. It's 88 in Mount Sterling. It feels like it's 97 in Frankfurt, and 95 degrees is the feels like temperature right now in Mount Sterling. So it is very sticky. Yesterday's high was officially 96, 95 today. That gives us now 13 days if you're playing the home game version. 13 days so far, and it's only the 1st of July. Last year, we only had 12. We've already surpassed that. And we haven't even gotten into the hot months of July and August, but we average about 25 in Lexington at Bluegrass Airport. Given those calendar years, that's what's quote-unquote normal, but we're never normal. It's usually up or down, and this year is going to probably be up versus down. Sunrise at 6:20 tomorrow. Sun goes down at 9:05. Plan on your Saturday being about 5 degrees cooler. Highs around 90, but with the humidity, it's still going to feel very sticky, about 85 at lunchtime. If you're hanging out by the pool, I'd say have at it. It's going to be cool, but there may be some strong severe storms isolated that form, 60% chance at 3, and about a 40% chance at 6 p.m. And if you're hanging out by the lake this entire weekend, whether it's Lake Cumberland, maybe it's Buckhorn Lake, maybe it's Cave Run Lake, temperature a little cooler on Sunday, 85, but both days have the good chance of getting some storms. It's just on the 4th. It's very isolated, very limited amounts of rain on the Independence Day holiday itself, which is great news for firework displays. Futurecast shows a little bit of activity showing up to the north, but even then, tomorrow morning, there's another round coming north of Frankfurt at 6:30 or 7. Slides in. We get more thunderstorms to the far south between Somerset and McKee at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. Then on Sunday, we do it again. There's still a 60% chance for showers and storms on Sunday. Not necessarily going to be severe, but that could be changing as some of these showing up as pink and purple, and so there's the possibility of some locally heavy rain even on Sunday. But then once we move into Monday, things should start to slow down, and that's always a good thing. 71 degrees, your low temperature tonight. It's stuffy, it's sticky, no getting around that, but warm, and showers and storms may reappear just before the sun comes up again tomorrow morning where you live. 69 the low temperature tonight expected in Richmond, 68 in Jackson, Hazard about 67, and 69 in Flemingsburg. You'll notice a high around 90. Sounds hot, but compared to 96 yesterday, 95 today, that's a cool down by 5 degrees. 60% chance for showers and storms. Highs about 89 in Frankfurt, 83 in Moorhead. Here is your Fox 56 Weather Authority forecast. As we look at the outside view, oh, love it, love it, love it. And see, a little hazy too. But then 93 on Monday, Independence Day, 97 next Thursday, so it does get hotter. Dew points stay high, lows in the mid-70s. It's going to feel very swampy, but the big fireworks spectacular is on Main Street and Oliver Lewis Way at 10 o'clock Monday night. I'm hopeful we'll get those in without any disruptions. Let's get over to Mitch.
Sounds like some steamy days ahead. Thank you, David. But I'm Bodie. Either way, you're fine. Coming up, we are focusing on your health. The First Lady making a visit to Virginia. Find out why ahead. And rapper Nicki Minaj has a new snack out. Find out what ahead.
Scan the QR code on your screen now and download the Fox 56 News app. Sponsored by Absolute Services.
Millions of people do it, sleep with their TV on. Well, you might rethink that decision once you hear the health risks associated with it after you turn us off, of course. A new study is linking early death and disease to falling asleep with a TV on. That's what researchers at the Northwestern University School of Medicine found out. The group studied 552 people between the ages of 63 and 84 and found that those who slept with even the slightest ambient lighting were more likely to suffer from diabetes, obesity, and hypertension. The First Lady travels to Virginia to push for child COVID vaccinations. Dr. Jill Biden visiting a pediatric vaccine clinic in Richmond today, where she met with several parents and guardians who were getting their kids vaccinated. Parents inside welcomed the First Lady and shared their excitement on keeping their kids COVID safe.
A little nervous about their initial reaction to what's about to happen, but we're really excited. I feel like they've been forgotten about. This age range has kind of been on the back burner, I feel like, for 2 years. And so I feel like we're finally getting to a point where we are doing what we can to protect them. And I'm really appreciative of everyone that's making that happen, finally.
This is the first time Mrs. Biden has traveled to a child health clinic to push for vaccinations since the CDC recommended vaccines for kids 5 and under. The alter ego of a rapper combined with a snack taste produces a new chip sensation for hip-hop fans. Nicki Minaj, the rapper known for animated rapping style and flow, is launching a new snack, barbecue honey truffle potato chips, based off her Barbie nickname given by fans, and Barbs, the term her fan base uses. The collaboration with Rap Snacks will be announced at the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans this weekend. Minaj's headliner. Rap Snacks are carried at Walmart. Sounds tasty. We'll see you all back here tonight at 10.